Hi, everyone. Welcome to Aortic Hope. This is Tammy Warner. We're here for our weekend review. So let's start with it's Medication Monday last Monday. Kristen Watson is a pharmacist that we have worked with in the past, and she provided a PowerPoint presentation of the medications that are often prescribed to members of the aortic community. Her presentation is easy to understand and explains how drug classifications work, why certain drugs may be prescribed, and possible side effects. Do not use this information as a tool to replace what your physician has prescribed you, but rather as a potential conversation starter. Um, when I looked at this PowerPoint, this is a great PowerPoint to review for anybody that's on any blood pressure medication. It explains all the different classes of blood pressure medication, what exactly it does for you. It tells you, it gives you a list of the pros and cons, like the things that it will help with your blood pressure, but the things that might be side effects that you would want to talk to your doctor about, because within that classification, you might be able to change from one medication to a different one that your body might handle a little bit better than the first one that the doctor chooses for you. It's much better than going to Dr. Google if you watch her presentation. I will tell you, I don't have a lot of experience with the different blood pressure medications because I only was on one. I was on a beta blocker. Since I had my last surgery, I'm not on any blood pressure medication right now, thank goodness. But I can tell you with my own personal experience with the beta blocker, nobody explained to me how it suppresses your emotions. And I remember feeling like I must be depressed or something, or that there was something was wrong with me because my grandchildren would come in and I wouldn't get that same feeling that I usually get when they would walk in the door. And I thought something's wrong because I had such a flat emotion all the time. And then when I saw her presentation, I guess it's been about a year ago, it really made sense to me that it just flattens everything. So it's very important to understand your medication so that you can discuss those things with your doctor. They did change me to another one in that category, and I did much better. I felt much better. But medication adherence is something that Kristen Watson talked a lot about, and it's very, very important. Even things like if you're supposed to take your medication 2 times a day, you definitely want to separate it by at least 12 hours. So 9 a.m., 9 p.m., 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Don't take it at breakfast and lunch breakfast and dinner, because that's not usually 12 hours, and that's really important, that medication adherence. So if you are having any difficulties, look at the directions of how you should be taking those medications. And I was surprised with a blood pressure medication that a lot of those medications that are prescribed, you have to wean yourself off of when your doctor does tell you to stop taking it or changes it. So make sure you ask those questions. It's really, really important to understand your medication. Okay, and before I go on, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Very important. Okay, let's move on to Topic Tuesday. So Topic Tuesday. June is Lilly D Syndrome Awareness Month, so we wanted to take a moment to familiarize you with LDS. As stated in the LDS Foundation website, it says, Lilly D Syndrome is a genetic disorder that affects the connective tissue in the body. The disorder was first observed and described by Dr. Bart Lewis and Dr. Hale Dietz at the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine in 2005. And here are some characteristics information. 4 main characteristics suggest that the 4 main characteristics suggest the diagnosis of LDS. These features are not usually seen altogether in other connective tissue disorders as major characteristics, and these symptoms include aneurysms, which is widening or dilation of the arteries, which can be observed by imaging techniques. These are most often observed in the aortic root, which is the base of the artery leading from the heart, but can be seen in other arteries throughout the body. Okay, I practiced this word, arterial tortuosity, twisting or spiraled arteries most often occur in the vessels of the neck and are observed on imaging techniques. Hypertelorism. That's a wide space between your eyes. I know a lot of times when I worked with developmentally delayed children who were just being diagnosed, they would measure whatever the width is of your eye. That's how much the width should be between your eyes. So they can tell a lot about the placement of your eyes. Bifid, which is split or broad uvula, the little piece of flesh that hangs in the back of your mouth. And it's important to note, however, that these findings are not observed in all patients and do not concretely lead to a diagnosis of LDS. If you would like to learn more, there is a website that you can check out. And while we're here, I wanted to let you know that we also, Aortic Hope, I think it's one of the ones that we just started carrying on our help belt, but I'm not sure. I think it is. I know we have Marfan syndrome, and I feel like the Lilly D. I haven't seen them yet because I'm not the one mailing them out anymore, but check our website. I'm pretty sure that you can get the help belt now with that syndrome on it. Okay, let's move on to a Therapeutic Thursday. So Therapeutic Thursday. Okay, here we are. Tapping, have you ever heard of it? I have heard of it. I didn't know a lot about it. Well, simply put, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, a protocol developed by Gary Craig that combines elements of Eastern medicine with Western psychology. Tapping is a way of self-soothing and reducing stress in a very fun and easy way. Andrea Hunt writes extensively about tapping in an article titled EFT Tapping and its Life-Changing Importance for Your Emotional Health. EFT tapping is applied to energy meridians points on one's bodies following a specific sequence while a person focuses his thoughts and emotions on the issue he or she wants to address. EFT tapping can improve your emotional health as a helpful tool to manage and self-regulate by focusing on emotional and mental health by reducing stress and negative emotions, as well as enhancing your self-esteem. Simply put, it makes you feel good to manage your emotions, and EFT helps you to do that. Andrea goes on to say that according to scientists, EFT tapping, like acupuncture, releases energy to activate a person's central nervous system and turning off the fight or flight response within the brain. Unlike acupuncture, however, EFT tapping doesn't require needles, also only pressure using the fingers to lightly tap on the points. And so these are all I've heard of the pressure points, that they use all the pressure points. To me, it sounds, when I read the article and there was a little video there, what was interesting to me is I think anybody that like enjoys rocking or swaying or twiddling their thumbs, like it's a repetitive motion. It's not the same thing as tapping, but it's a way of self-calming. And this just goes a little bit deeper. So the things that I learned from the article was there's no unwanted side effects. So you don't have to worry about when you're doing it and you're just learning that it can be dangerous. There's no side effects that can be harmful to you. It's painless. It's inexpensive. You don't have to buy anything. You can learn how to do it right on YouTube. Works anywhere, anytime. So if you're at work, if you're at home, if you're at the doctor's office, if you're in a stressful situation, getting ready to have your blood draw, waiting to have your blood pressure taken at the doctor's, they're all self-calming techniques. It's easy to learn. I watched the video. It is very easy to learn. It's very specific, but it's easy to learn, and it's not time consuming. So you can do it anywhere for any amount of time of how long you think you have to devote to it. So just like most self-calming techniques, it's another one that you can put in your tool belt that might help you. Um, so here we go on to It Feels Good Friday. Okay, let me turn to my notes here on Feels Good Friday. I liked this one. Today is Feel Good Friday at Aortic Hope, as written by Psych Central by Teresa Beauchard. She explains in the article titled 8 Simple Ways to Give and Why Giving is Good for You, that Winston Churchill once said, "We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give." Giving feels good. We've all experienced that high from doing something good, donating our used book to the library, feeding the homeless at the soup kitchen, walking for AIDS or another cause, calling or visiting on an older relative, or giving someone a very personal and meaningful gift that they appreciate. And so I went and took a look at the article, and they listed 8 ways that we could feel good about doing by giving to our community and our family. And so the first one was to spend money on others. So we all enjoy giving gifts. It's a really good feeling. I know I love it when I find a personal gift that is just right for somebody. It doesn't happen very often. I found a cup for my mom not too long ago. She always likes to say today is a good day for a good day. And I found a mug that said that. And I was so happy that I found that mug. And yeah, it did make me feel good to give it to her. Spend time with others. We all have had that experience of not wanting to go to a social event or, go out of our home, even to go to the grocery store and see other people. But spending time with other people, with others, can usually make you feel better. Volunteering, that's an old age one that we all know that just doing for others in by volunteering our time, and it can be on a one-on-one basis, or it can be for an entire group or people you don't even know. I remember I went one time. I was very overwhelmed with emotions. I went one time to prepare meals for our community for people that were in need, and I was in the kitchen and making all these pans of stuffing and turkey and all this stuff, and somebody said, "Oh, we need somebody to take it out to the room where the food was being picked up." And when I had to roll this cart down this hallway of all these people standing in line, and I was making eye contact with them, and they were standing in line waiting for the food that I had just made that they could go take it home to their families. And I was so overwhelmed with emotion that there were those many people in my community that needed help, and that I was in a position to help them, that I couldn't walk back up the aisle again and look at them again. I had to go out the door and kind of get myself together and then I came back in and pushed my cart back up the hallway. But yeah, being a volunteer really can do your heart a lot of good. Being emotionally available to people, especially in our community, we all have really good days and we all have really bad days, and then we have those in between days. But if you're able to be emotionally available to somebody, and you don't always have the answers, I really have learned in my old age, I've learned through my experiences that just sitting silent with somebody sometimes is all you have to do, like just to be there. You don't have to have the answers, you just have to be present. It means a lot. I've experienced that and I've given that. um, Perform an act of kindness, and I want to add perform an act of kindness without calling attention to that act of kindness. And it can be something as little as holding a door for somebody, or something as time consuming as babysitting for free for a neighbor that just is going through a rough patch. But I truly believe that an act of kindness, you shouldn't call attention to it, or announce it. Compliment somebody. You know what it feels like when somebody says to you out of the blue, "Oh, you look so nice today," or, you know, "Today I'm in the process of moving. I'm just happy I have 2 earrings on that match, and I was really thrilled that I found a pair of shoes that match." So, just complimenting somebody might really make their day. And it helps you to look on the bright side of things. Make someone laugh. It really is true that laughing is the most potent antidepressant. And we all love to laugh, even if you have to make yourself laugh watching a funny movie or something. My husband and I watched Stripes the other day. It was on. We didn't do much of anything on Sunday. We had a do nothing day, and Stripes, the movie, came on, and we had a few good laughs with that. Um, Tell your story. There was a quote in the article that stories are a communal currency of humanity. So if you think about that, it is so true. It's what ties us. It's what ties us together. It's what relates us. It's what helps us move on. If you can relate to somebody else's story and understand their experience, sometimes just hearing somebody else's story gives you a different perspective. And that really helps when you can have a different perspective. If you're in a really big slump, and you just need to have a new perspective. Somebody just listening to somebody else's story, but telling your story can also help you look at where you were in the beginning, as opposed to where you are now. I know in the beginning, when I first had my dissection, I just kept waiting for my old life to come back. I just thought that I was going to wake up one day and everything was going to be back to normal. I was going to have to take all this medication. I was going to have all these restrictions. I was going to have my family so worried about me, and that like there was like this hurdle we were just going to get over, and then it was going to be the end. The way you would like recover from pneumonia or something, and that didn't happen. And so my story of how I got to be where I am today, telling your story is to somebody else really helps you see your progress, and really helps you see whatever happened to you in the past doesn't mean that has to be your future. So just telling your story can really help somebody. So, and then that's a lot of what happens in our community. If you go to the boards, if you go to Facebook, you will see people sometimes they just want to tell their story. You can also go on YouTube and look at all of our Aortic Hope survivor stories. They are so inspiring. Not one of them is the same. They're all completely different. Everybody has a common thread of getting through something that you never imagined you would survive, and emotions that you never thought you would feel. So take a look at our survivor stories if you want to hear some good stories. Okay, let's move on. We had a contest it's the Belmont Stakes, and that was over the weekend. The Belmont is the longest race and the final race of the Triple Crown, and it's 1.5 miles and can make or break a Triple Crown champion. Of course, we didn't have a Triple Crown this year, but Aortic Hope does have a contest. And so you were asked to come up with some creative names for the horses and then submit the name. And we had a drawing on Sunday morning for our virtual Belmont Stakes. So I can announce the 3 winners. So the 2 runner-ups were, the horse was named Miracle Beauty, and the jockey was Nikki Matassi. And then the second person's horse name was Warrior Dreams, and the jockey was Josie DeLuca Pirozzelli. So if you could make sure, you should have gotten a message, but if you can make sure to message your mailing address for us, we would like to send you a prize. But the grand prize winner of the Belmont Stakes the horse's name was One Love, and the jockey was Pamela Burton Babajian. So Pamela, if you send us your address and your shirt size, we will be sending out an Aortic Hope shirt to you. I'm very happy. Congratulations on winning. So that was our fun over the weekend. Let's take a look at some of the events that are coming up. We're halfway through, well, not halfway through June yet. I don't want to say that because I don't like the summers to go fast. But we do have 4 things coming up. On the 15th, the Aortic Hope Caregivers Virtual Support Meeting will take place. This one is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, All you have to do is go online and register, go to aortichope.org and register. And once you register, you'll get a link to join the private meeting. And every time that meeting happens in the future, you'll get a link. And then on the 23rd, we have another book reading event with Terry Benson. Terry's pretty active in our community. She has a great book, very inspiring. Again, it's her own personal story, but I think one of the things that's really nice in our community is sharing our stories. Then on the 27th, this is one I'm looking forward to also. I was able to meet Jennifer Fernjack when we went to Minnesota. I guess it was in February now, but she read part of her book, and I can't wait to get my hands on her book, The Power and Strength of Emotional Grit. She will have a live interview with us on the 27th at 7 p.m. And if you go online to aortichope.org, there, I can't remember what the code is, but if you buy her book, you do get a discount on the book so that you can read the book before the 27th. And then to finish out the month on the 29th at 7 o'clock, again, at Aortic Hope virtual support meeting for survivors or people that are in the wait and see club and haven't had their surgery yet, don't need to have the surgery yet. You're also welcome to join us. We're all in this together. Again, all you have to do is sign up one time. And once you sign up, every time we have a support group meeting for that particular group, you will receive an invite. So that's it, everybody. I hope that everybody's having a great weekend. If you are a father or you have a father or a father-like figure in your life, I hope that you enjoy Father's Day this weekend. And then look for us back on Monday for another Aortic Hope Live to go through everything that's happened in the week and keep you up to date. So don't forget to like us, subscribe, and share so that you can be a light in somebody else's world and pass on the information that you just saw on our live. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon.